Hey, y'all. Welcome to season 2 of the Reckless Optimist podcast. I'm so glad that you're here. This is a show about hope, strength, perseverance, and resilience. Let's get into it. Hey, everyone. Today on the podcast, we have Tina. Tina is a super special person. I met her through the online running community. I am her biggest cheerleader. It was amazing to hear her story tonight. She has been through a lot in her life, but she has come through it. And tonight she shares how she has gotten through all of the hard things in her life and all of the amazing things that she's doing now. I know you guys are going to be inspired by this story. Let's get into it. Hey, everyone. Help me welcome Tina to the podcast.
Hi.
I'm so excited that you're here. I have followed you on your social medias for, I think, like a year, and you're super inspiring. I love watching your journey. So this is the first time we've got to meet virtually.
Yep. Thank you.
Yes. I'm like your biggest cheerleader. Every post, I'm like, yay, go Tina.
Yeah, you absolutely. I think you've pretty much followed me from the beginning.
Yes, I love your journey. You give such good content, such good running tips, mental health tips. I mean, you're a content creator that I enjoy following.
Thank you. That means so much.
Yes. Where are you coming in from?
I'm coming in from East Sussex, near Brighton in Eastbourne.
Okay. I think you're my 6th or 7th across the pond interview, and I love them so much.
It's so cool being able to talk to you and meet you and
Yeah, it's so fun to connect to all corners of the world like this, you know?
yeah.
Well, we're going to get started out with a quote for your episode. This is by Lauren Fleshman, which is from a book called Good for a Girl, which is a really good running book. And the quote goes, "I learned that success is not staying on the path you started on, but having the courage to change paths when the old one no longer fits." What does that quote mean to you?
I think that means to me that your life can just change at any time. Basically, like just because something bad might have happened, like that doesn't have to define you and you don't have to stay there. Like you can always change, like and grow and become whoever you want to be.
Yeah, I love that. I love how you said that. I agree with you. When I hear this quote, it makes me think of a few things. I mean, first of all, this book is awesome. If you're looking for an empowering book, Good for a Girl. She talks about how it's important to be brave instead of perfect. And I think that's such a good message to send.
Yeah.
And sometimes success isn't, I never quit, but sometimes it's being brave enough to admit that this path wasn't the right one for me anymore. And in my own experience, I think when I turned 40, I had like a huge reckoning of my life where I realized I was in a marriage that wasn't working. I was not feeding my body correctly. I was not the person that I knew I could be.
Yeah.
And I had to change paths. I changed paths for the better. And I'm still changing paths as we progress. But yeah, when I read that quote, it made me think of all of the different paths I could have taken. And I'm thankful I didn't stay on the same one for the rest of my life.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think we really can feel sometimes like we are trapped, but actually we're not. And even sometimes, even throughout a week, I can just notice myself daily changing and growing and moving on.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, we are super excited to hear your story. So wherever you feel comfortable, just take us back.
So I only started running, I mean, I'm coming up to 2 years now, but I basically made my Instagram page just to hold myself accountable. But initially, it was never about that. I had a breakdown. I had really bad anxiety. I couldn't leave the house. I had to take over caring for my dad, which shouldn't have been too tricky, but there was a lot of domestic violence in my household growing up. And even now, to this day still, I do feel like that scared little girl sometimes. So I think as much as I wanted to be big and brave and help him, like it did really knock me back. So I was in a really bad place. One of my friends actually dragged me out. She said, "Come on, I'm going for a run. Come with me. Bring your bike." So I started cycling while she ran and she was training for a marathon. And yeah, I think after just 2 times, I was like, well, if she can do it, so can I, right? Like, what am I doing here? And I did. I went for a run and that was it. I've been hooked ever since and it's really helped me. I'm not medicated anymore. I'm diagnosed with EUPD, which is emotionally unstable personality disorder. But it basically stems from trauma. So I was medicated for quite some time in and out of therapy and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, I'm fully unmedicated now, and I basically use running to regulate.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think running takes us out of rumination and into action. And if you're someone who's anxious or has been through a lot of trauma, that can be life changing for you to
Yeah.
get out of that rumination cycle?
Absolutely. I think I've never wanted to feel my heartbeat out of my chest so bad because
Yeah.
it just makes me feel so alive. But before, that feeling was terrifying for me. Whereas now I want to feel my heart pumping hard and I want to feel my feet hitting the floor, but it's just completely flipped the script.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And learning to control the emotions and not being afraid when your body has those symptoms. But I heard this quote one time. It was like, we are the sky and our emotions are the weather rolling in. We're not the weather. We're not the rain. We're going to be we're the entire sky. And that just made me kind of look at my emotions when they flood and when I have big bouts of anxiety that, okay, this is here, but it's not forever and it's going to pass through just like the rain.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not saying that running's fixed me. I can definitely regulate a lot better now with running as one of my coping mechanisms, but I still now, even to this day, have weeks where I can feel myself just being flooded with all of the emotions and stuff, and I can feel the pull, and it just helps me regulate, and it helps me just handle all of my emotions, and yeah, it brings me back.
Yes. I wanted to ask you some questions about your childhood. Were you an athlete when you were younger?
No, I was not. I hated PE. I didn't even like school. I didn't socialize much. I was quite bullied at school. Yeah, I sort of spent most of my upbringing at home making sure my mum was safe. So I didn't start fully living as Tina until I was in my, I would say late teens, 17, 18. Um, and then at 19, I fell pregnant, but moved out. And that was massive for me. Moving out away from my mum, that was really hard to let that go. I had this sort of overwhelming sense of I can't go anywhere, like I have to be here to protect her. So I didn't really even know who I was until I'd moved out.
Yeah. And with the family violence that occurred in your home when you were younger, that is heartbreaking. It's so hard to hear that. And I can't imagine what you went through. Did your dad get help from that? Kind of give us that background.
No, the police were sort of heavily involved. Our house was on what they call gold alert. So like if there was a phone call coming in from our house, they'd have to respond urgently. It was normally me who made the phone calls. It kind of got to a point where I would call 999 if I could even feel the tension in the house because I knew what was coming. Eventually, the social services wanted to take me and my two sisters away. So it was a case of you have to leave him or we're taking them away. So that's when I suppose things started finally moving in a bit of a better direction. I actually lost contact with my dad. I didn't speak to him for years. And I worked since I was 14. And I sort of stayed at home and looked after mum. But as far as I know, he's never sought help, nor has my mum. It's kind of, I don't know if it's just that generation and their age, but it's sort of just been just brushed to the side. We don't really talk
Yeah.
about it. We can't really talk about it.
Yeah. Were you the oldest or the
I
youngest?
was the middleist.
The middleest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you're a kid, just need basic needs met, right? You need shelter, you need food, and you need water, and you need to feel loved. And when your basic needs are not met and you're having to protect your house as a child, that can leave long lasting effects on your growing brain for the rest of your life. And, some people will repeat the behavior, right? Some
Yeah.
people will watch that behavior, repeat it in their later life.
Yeah.
Some people will have a lot of mental health issues, anxiety, depression, addiction. Some people, sounds like you're one of the people,
Mhm.
you worked on yourself. You went to therapy, you got some medication, you sat with some self reflection. You didn't stay in the hole, so to speak.
It took me a long time to get there though. Initially, there were noticeable patterns in relationships that I had picked for myself, and I have had gambling addictions. I used to smoke a hell of a lot. So yeah, there were pulls there, but eventually, I think I just looked at my kids and I thought I can't be anything but perfect for them. So yeah, a lot of self-reflection and a lot of running, and here we are.
Yes. How many kids do you have?
I have 3 boys.
3 boys? Oh my gosh, how old are they?
They are 13, 11, and 6.
Wow, that's amazing. 3 boys. I have 1, that's a lot. I have 3 kids, but just 1 boy, but he's basically like 3 boys in 1. But boys, they love their mom, though. I'm telling you, my son loves me more than my girls do, I swear. I had some follow-up questions for you about your story. What have you learned about yourself over this whole experience?
That I am bloody resilient,
Yes, you are.
and I am a good mum, and I broke the pattern, and I think if I can do it, like, anyone can.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that gave me chills, girl. I love that so much. What would you say to someone who knows they need to change their life, but they're afraid to do it?
I think that's a really tricky one because I still have things in my life that I want to change, and I still don't have all the answers. But I think knowing that you want to change is the first huge step. And no matter how many people around you tell you, like, do this or do that, it has to come from you. You have to want it and you have to do it on your own. And as scary as that is, I think there's no other way, because I think when other people tell you, oh, do it this way or do it that way, and it doesn't actually hit until you want it bad for yourself.
Yeah. That is so true. That is absolutely so true.
Yeah.
So, if I'm right, you have a run club in your town, is that right?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it started off as a run hike club. But I actually have a lot of people who like to just come and hike. So I still do the running side of it, but the hiking aspect of it is really doing really well.
Yeah. What inspired you to start a run hike club?
I just think that there are probably other people out there like me that maybe necessarily don't really want to get into running, but want that space, that safe space, that fresh air, that grounding, that movement. And we don't have to run to hill, right? We can walk, we can go to the gym, we can sit at the beach and just watch the waves. Any movement is good. So yeah, I just thought, well, I'm up there anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it for my mental health, so why not just invite people along?
Yeah. What has it grown into? Has it grown over the years?
I only started it this year, yeah, and we've had some sucky weather.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised anyone showed up at all. But the summer months are coming, so I'm hopeful that with word of mouth that it will just continue to grow. And I don't necessarily need it to be massive. It's not for me, it's just a safe space for people to just come and just feel included.
Yeah, I love that because I do feel like with any sports, there's a little bit of that exclusivity, right? But running is something that's universal. Anyone can do it. It's free, right?
Yeah.
To some degree, you can just walk out right outside and do it. There's a little price to it. But yeah, I love that. I love the inclusivity of it all. I think that's such a good message to send out, and that all levels are welcome. You can
Absolutely.
walk, you can run. Yeah,
Who
I love
knows?
that.
Even my walkers might turn into runners. I think it's all about
Mhm.
making that first step.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you seen running change other people's lives as well?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my friend who actually encouraged me to go out and come along with her run on my bike, she's been through some challenging times, and she's been very open and honest with me about that, and she inspired me to make that first step. And if it wasn't for her, who knows where I'd be now?
Are you transparent about what happened to you in your younger years with your children?
Yes. I am very open. I am an open book.
Yeah.
I think it's important.
Yeah. I imagine that your relationship with your parents, are they both still alive?
Yes.
Is very complicated. Are you able to still have a relationship with them, or do you have to keep kind of them both at a distance?
I currently am not speaking to my mum. It's really difficult because I feel a lot of guilt and a lot of pain. I want her to find healing and I want her to be well, but I struggle because I like to vocalize how I'm feeling and I like to talk about things. And that isn't necessarily how she likes to handle things. So that has made the relationship really difficult to the point where I think it is just better if we just have a little bit of distance. So there's not much going on there at the moment, but my arms are always open for her. My dad, I actually care for full time. And I find that hard. I do. I find it really hard.
You're his caretaker?
Yeah.
Yeah. I imagine that would be quite a complicated relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it says a lot about your character that you're able to do something like that, you know?
Yeah. It is difficult. He still drinks quite a lot and there are things that trigger me that I know that I need to stay away from. So it can make it really hard. And, there are certain things that will be done and said, and I just want to put my walls up, but I can't because I have to be there for him. So that is really tricky to navigate. And the last 2 weeks, especially, I've found incredibly hard. But I don't shy away from it. And I think it's important to talk about it. And, hopefully it will get better, but it's
Yeah.
really tricky.
I think it's not necessarily our responsibility to save our parents or save anyone in our life, but we can be a lighthouse, right? A lighthouse of what it's supposed to look like, what life can look like when we take care of ourselves and take care of our mind. But ultimately, people have to save themselves.
Yes, exactly. Absolutely. And like I said earlier, a million people can tell you, oh, you've got to stop drinking or you need to go and get therapy. But actually, unless you really want it for yourself, it's not going to happen. You have to want it
Yeah.
bad. And
Hmm.
I wanted healing for so long, so long. And it wasn't until I had my firstborn that I thought, right, he is never, ever going to have to go through anything that I went through. And that
Yeah.
that was huge in my life, but I still had my own mental setbacks, my own triggers, I still struggled with my anxiety, um, and that's where running helped, obviously, many more years down the line, but yeah, you have to want it
Yeah.
for yourself.
Yeah. You got to be the change, to break that generational trauma.
Yeah,
And you're doing that. You're an example of that, and that's huge, and I hope that you know that.
thank you.
Yeah, and your boys probably will know that when they look back on their life retrospectively. At that age,
Yeah.
it's hard for them. They're kind of in their own little microcosm, their own little world, you know? Yeah. Yeah. I had some follow-up questions about your running. I wanted to ask you, what was your very first run like? Like, did you love it? Did you hate it? Were you feeling all the things? Kind of give us that take.
I loved it. My first run was up the Downs along the Seven Sisters, where I host now my trail club. And my first run was a 10K because why not? And I loved it. I felt free as a bird. Like that's the only way I can describe it. It was just invigorating. I loved it.
Mhm. The freedom that comes with running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember my partner and my youngest were waiting where we started. It was just a loop run. And we sort of said, oh, we'll be back in an hour. And it took us 2 hours. It was very hilly and it was very hard. But oh my goodness. Yeah, it was just amazing. And I was like, right, can we go tomorrow?
Mhm. Yeah, let's do it again. There's nothing quite like that first race or that first distance that you never thought you could do. Like that feeling is irreplaceable, you know?
Absolutely. And I think that's why I love the trails so much because that's where it all started for me. I never
Mhm.
actually went into road running until I'd been running on the trails for about 8 months. And then I was sort of like, oh, okay, let's try this. Let's give this a go. But
Yeah.
I'd been running for only 4 weeks and I signed up to a marathon.
Oh,
Why not? I was
why
I
not?
was running up there anyway. So yeah.
Wow. Okay, so did you do it?
Yeah, it took me 6.5 hours, but I did it.
Wow.
It's super, super hilly. I think it is one of the hillier or hilliest sort of trail runs, marathons in the UK. I'm not sure where it ranks, but it's extremely hilly. So yeah, it was definitely challenging, but oh my God, what an accomplishment. And I just cried like a baby. Like we had, I think, 3 kilometers left. And yeah, my friend, she could see I was really struggling and she just come back and she held my hand. She went, I'm not crossing that line without you. And I was like, I know, but my legs hurt. But I knew my kids were waiting at the end and it was so, so strange. Like the closer we were getting to the finish line, the more I was just blubbering like a baby. And I thought, I've not even finished yet.
Oh my gosh. I can totally relate to what you're saying. I've so been there. It's very cathartic and you work so hard at that, the distance, you got to respect the distance. I feel like every marathon I've ever ran has completely changed my life?
Absolutely. And I actually had surgery 2 weeks before as well. I had nerve surgery. So I shouldn't really have been running, but I was like, no, I'm doing this. I am
Yeah.
doing this.
Yeah.
I told myself I was. So
Have you done one since? Have you done another one?
So after my first race, I was completely hooked. I haven't actually run another marathon distance. I decided to go straight into ultras.
I
So
love it.
I ran 2 ultras 6 days apart. Um,
Whoa.
Both were 50 kilometers. So that was just amazing. Both were very, very, surreal moments for me. The first one I ran with my mum, and she actually really struggled with her knee. So we only ran about 20 kilometers, and then the rest of it we had to walk. But she pushed through and we got it done. And I was kind of grateful in a way because I knew in 6 days I had another one to run. So I thought, okay, this means I can push a bit harder next week. Like it's all good. It's just time on feet. And then, yeah, 6 days later, I was running another one and I ran it with my friend actually. So that was, yeah, it was lovely.
Oh, I love it. You're a go-getter, girl. You're like,
Yeah.
screw the 5K. Let's just run 32 miles
Uh,
instead.
yeah, I only raced my first 5K like 5 months ago.
You're like going backwards.
Yeah, I built up the endurance though.
Yeah, you do. You don't need to work on that part. That's hilarious. I think that's so funny. What are your aspirations, your goals in running? Do you have any big goals that you'd like to chase?
I would love to do a triathlon. Absolutely would love to. I don't know, maybe I'm just a little bit unhinged still, but I just feel like I love a 5K, I love a 10K, but they're just over so quick. Like I'm in it for the
Mm-hmm.
long run. So
Yeah.
I think I have a lot booked this year, but I think, that's sort of next in the pipeline for me. That's the goal to do a
Yeah.
triathlon. Yeah.
I love it. I just got into triathlons. I had done a few small ones and then a half Ironman when I was younger, but I didn't really train for them, just kind of winged it. But now I'm kind of in this Ironman circuit. I did my first full last year. And let me tell you, the people that you meet at an Ironman are some of the most amazing people because for you to show up to a start line of an Ironman, you have had to been through some shit in your life?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. It really brings out the broken, and
Yeah.
the strong?
Yeah, absolutely. And the resilient.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you a swimmer? Do you know how to swim?
I'm quite a good swimmer.
Okay.
Naturally, we had swimming lessons as kids, but yeah, I love a swim. I'm very much running is my focus and my main, but also like any little niggle or like I'll just cross train. Like I love to
Mhm.
ride the bike. I'll just go out and do a nice long bike ride, or I'll just go spend an hour in the pool. So yeah, I absolutely sort of cross training is something that I do naturally anyway. So I'm excited to see
Yeah.
what could happen if I was actually to properly train for one.
Yeah, absolutely. You mean, yeah, you're set up for success if you're already doing those other events, the swimming and the biking, and they are so good to cross train for running as well?
Absolutely. The sea swimming scares me a little bit. I don't know
Mhm.
why. I'm like the sea's cold, like the pool at the gym's heated.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I am with you though. Like I've done both the ones I did were river swims and it's actually really nice because you float like with the current. So it kind of helps you.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I would be terrified to do an ocean swim. I think it's the choppiness of the water scares me, like in the waves.
Yeah.
And then the creatures in the ocean too. you know? And the salt water, that freaks me out. I don't know, the trifecta of those 3 things.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's but, there are people here that do, sea swimming lessons, so I think that would be something that I would do just to get my confidence up in the water and maybe make myself a little bit more aware of the tides and stuff so that I could go out and practice on my own.
Yeah. And then you could wear a wetsuit too, right? Which helps a little bit.
I already got the wetsuit. I got the wetsuit. I'm ready to go.
That's awesome. Talking about your run club that we mentioned earlier, what does it feel like to help someone else believe in themselves?
That's a strange one because I just feel like that's just so natural for me. Like I don't know if it's because of the trauma, but like empathy like is a massive part of like who I am. And I'm such a yes person. I'm such a people pleaser. Like I will really go out of my way to help anyone. So I think that's why the run club just sort of came so naturally to me. And I was like, I'm just going to do it because I just want to help people.
Yeah. Yeah, you have that servant heart, you
Yeah.
know? We need more people like you.
Yeah.
I have one more question before our lightning round. If someone is listening to this right now and they feel stuck in their life, whatever situation is going on, what would you want to tell them?
That there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. And to keep going.
Yeah, just keep going. Even now, I'm smiley and happy today, but last week I had a few days where I was really sad, and I just think you just have to just remember, like, the rain doesn't last forever. Like, it just doesn't. It's gonna stop at some point. And the tears, they dry up. They can't keep coming as well.
Yeah. I love that. I can't thank you enough for sharing your story, especially the hard parts of your story. I know that's not easy. I know that you were nervous and we talked about that, but you did it with such poise and such grace. And you're an inspiration. So thank you.
Thank you. So are you. I love following your journey.
Where can people find you, follow you, or if they're in your area, find your run club?
So my run club is in Eastbourne, up Beachy Head. So that starts at Cadence in St Helens Gardens. And I'm on Instagram. I'm not on anything else at the moment. I have a small TikTok following, but I'm still learning how to use TikTok.
Yeah. That's a whole nother beast over there. I get overwhelmed with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I almost feel like it's for the younger generation because I don't think they like us on there if we're over 30. Yeah. Well, we've made it to the lightning round of your show. These are fun, get to know you questions because people get invested in you after they hear your story. So the first question is, do you have any hidden talent?
No.
Nothing at all. Can you sing? Can you dance? Can you play an instrument?
I play the drums.
Okay. That's a cool talent. We'll go with that one.
We'll go with that.
Number 2, what is a song that instantly puts you in a good mood?
That's a really tricky one. I don't know.
What's your favorite song?
I love Eminem. I know that
Okay.
that's so random and a lot of it is quite depressing, but that, like, he got me through some shit.
I feel that.
Yeah, that was my childhood.
Mhm.
So even on a good day, even if I'm feeling like super positive, I'll listen to him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's been through some stuff and like his music is kind of ragey. I like it too. Number 3, what is the last concert that you've been to?
Oh, I went to go and see Jessie J live. When I was pregnant. And that was just, I was obsessed with her, absolutely obsessed. And I remember even when my eldest now, when he was born, like if he was upset, I would just put her song on and it would settle him.
Yeah.
So that was crazy. But my last concert was actually Eminem. I saw him live at the O2. Yeah,
What?
I know.
Whoa.
Dream come true.
That is.
Yeah.
That's like a bucket list concert for sure.
Absolutely. And then when Dre come out too, I was just like, heaven.
Yeah. Whoa, that's epic right there. Okay, number 4, what would be your last meal?
Like if I was never to eat ever again.
Yes.
Chocolate cake.
It's a good one. I haven't heard that one yet. That's actually a brilliant answer.
Yeah, chocolate cake.
Yeah, I love it. Last question, kind of a heavy question. What type of legacy do you hope to leave behind?
Yeah. Just that I was inspirational and that I was a nice, kind person.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
Beautiful. I can't thank you enough for coming on and sharing your story. You really did a beautiful job. I am so excited to watch you chase all your goals, all your ultras, all your triathlons. I'm your biggest cheerleader.
Thank you. Who knows? Maybe I'll see you at an Ironman.
Yes, I'll come over there. I want to do one international. That's like on my bucket list.
Okay,
So,
well, hook me up. Let me know what one it is.
yes, absolutely. All right, girl. Have a
Okay.
great night.
You too. Take care. Bye, darling.
Bye.